Hello, beautiful ones. It's Zion here, and today we're going to talk about eliminating menstrual pain. And this is a topic that comes up so much with the women around me, with friends, with clients. And I know that it's something that many women struggle with. I used to struggle with very severe period pain as well for many years of my life, and it was debilitating. It came with nausea. I fainted a couple times even. The pain would extend down through my thighs, and it was just such an excruciating experience for me. And that's when I set off on a journey actually to connect with my womb, and it was the calling to listen, to go deeper, because a part of me was like, well, there must be a reason why I'm feeling this way, even if everyone around me tells me that it's normal. Even though I grew up with that belief, I was being told that it was just part of being a woman. And I want you to let me know in the comments if that was your experience as well. But the truth is that menstrual pain is not normal. It's a sign that something is not okay, that something needs attention. Okay, and it is not something that you have to live with. That's the most important message that I want to share with you today. You don't need to suffer every time you bleed. In fact, your time of bleed can be a time of deep connection with yourself, with your body, with your feminine energy, and with really beautiful feeling states and altered states of consciousness. The bleeding phase, it's a very sacred time in which we open up into aspects of ourselves that are able to see deeper. It's like really opening the subconscious, and it's tapping into this web of feminine consciousness that goes even way beyond ourselves and our lineage. It goes into all of the feminine collective consciousness. So the time of menstruation is sacred. It's not dirty, it's not shameful, and it's not supposed to be painful. And so I know I've talked about some of the causes for menstrual pain before, although I think I will go deeper into that in the future because I think it's really important. But today I want to share with you 5 tips to ease your menstrual pain and maybe even eliminate it completely. Now, before I get started, I want to say that sometimes menstrual pain is alerting us of some physical issues in the womb that really need serious attention. So sometimes things start off small and then build up into something bigger. If we don't listen for a long period of time, this can generate different issues in the womb, different ailments in the womb, right? And a lot of women are struggling with endometriosis or fibroids or cysts and all kinds of things. I also want you to know that that's not normal. It may be common, yes, but that's just a reflection of the pain that we're carrying as a collective feminine consciousness, and the pain that we're carrying individually that is just being manifested in the body, and that too can be healed. Okay, so even if you are struggling with any severe issues in your womb physically and you're aware of this, I don't want you to think that that means that you can never experience painless bleeds or that you can't heal from that, because you absolutely can, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've supported women in healing from many issues in the womb, as well as myself, of course. So this is in your hands, and your body is your ally. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Trust me, there were a lot of times when I hated my body and I hated my womb because the pain that I was going through was so horrible, and it was like nothing was taking it away. But I figured it out, and I want you to know that you can too. Okay, so the most powerful tip, the most powerful piece of advice that I could give any woman who's struggling with menstrual pain is to listen deeply. To really take your time to listen to what the pain is trying to tell you. And that was the key for me. And not just to listen, but to feel deeper, to feel what this pain is trying to tell you. There are always emotional factors behind our menstrual pain. There's always an emotional component behind menstrual pain. And by being aware of that, you can really work with that root cause so that there's no longer a need for a symptom, right? Because pain is a messenger. The pain is not here just to ruin your day or your life. The pain is here to support you. The pain is here to liberate you. The pain is here to alert you, to bring your attention to the places that need you. And probably your body has already been calling for your attention for a long time. And the pain is there because you haven't listened. Or there's just more that needs to be seen and oftentimes released or shifted. Sometimes our menstrual pain is showing us that there's parts of ourselves and our needs and our boundaries that we're ignoring, that we're not honoring, that we're not taking care of. And so sometimes we need to make real changes in our lives, in our lifestyles, in the ways we think about ourselves and our bodies and our feminine energy and our menstrual cycle and our blood and all these things where so many of us have an inner conflict. That reflects in the womb, that reflects in our menstrual cycle. And sometimes it's not even just about how we feel about our menstrual cycle or our body. Sometimes it's how we feel in our relationships. Sometimes it's how we feel in the world. Sometimes it's got to do with unhealed traumas. There's a lot of reasons for menstrual pain. And so my most important piece of advice is to set out on an adventure to figure out what that is for you, because it's going to be totally unique for you. It's not going to be the same as for me or any other woman, right? And it's a relationship between your womb and you. And this can not only eliminate your menstrual pain when you understand what it's trying to tell you, but it can also open you up to a vast amount of beauty and magic that right now is untapped in your body. And I know that I don't experience menstrual pain and that I have a deep, beautiful relationship with my body and my womb. When I look back, I realized that this was one of the most beautiful blessings I received, this womb awakening, even though it started with pain. But this was it was just the calling. It was just calling me in because she had so much for me and I was not tapping into that. So it was not just that some things were out of alignment or that I carried trauma, sure, that too, but there was also so much beauty that was waiting for me. And now that it's a part of my life every day, my life is infinitely more beautiful than it was before, and rich and secure and abundant and just a lot more magical. So when you set off on an adventure to connect with your womb and develop a relationship with your womb, a lot of beautiful things will also start to open. And that's also why I love womb work so much, and why for me it's so different to other healing modalities, because it's like we're not just looking into the pain and like there's so much beauty, there's so much pleasure, there's so much magic when we work with the womb. And it's really something that can't be explained and that can't be compared to any other thing. And it's just about reclaiming a really ancient and essential aspect of ourselves, which goes way beyond this reproductive organ. It's like the womb is not just there to reproduce. The womb is a portal of life and creation that extends way beyond pregnancy and birth and menstrual cycles, which are all very magical as well, but there's a lot more. And I'm excited for you to find out more about that. So one way that can really help you to really listen and understand what your womb is trying to tell you is through womb work. So when you do journeys with you into your womb, when you meditate with your womb, when you connect deeply with your body in this way, and you start to form this relationship with her, you will be hearing her messages, and you will be feeling what she's trying to tell you. So that's my first tip. Second tip is emotional expression, and it's very connected to what I was just saying, because if you have a habit of consistently listening to your feelings and expressing your feelings, your emotions, you will feel an incredible improvement in your menstrual health. I mean, in your overall health, because our physical health is deeply tied to how we feel emotionally and how we feel mentally. It's like in our society, we're always given this message, this idea about ourselves that we are somehow just like matter, and like robots or something, like as if we could separate the physical from the emotional or the spiritual, but we can't. So it's an aspect of health as well, emotional health. And so the more that you actually create space to take care of your emotional needs, that you express your emotions, even the emotions that you might feel more resistant towards, especially those, the more you will feel an ease in your menstrual pain. Because a lot of times that menstrual pain is, as I said before, very connected to unresolved emotions and sometimes traumas, which, by the way, if you suspect that there might be some trauma, or that there's some trauma that's connected to your womb, whether it's sexual trauma or any kind of trauma that's got to do with boundaries and your self-worth and how you feel with your femininity, or abortions or traumatic births, or any kind of thing that might be connected to your womb, I would really, really recommend that you work with a trauma healing facilitator, such as myself, because it's really important to work with a professional sometimes to move through some things that are a bit more deep and that need a little bit more care than what we can do by ourselves. So, emotional expression. Okay, third tip, now we're getting into practical things, is heat. Heat. Why? Because when the womb is cold, it contracts, and those contractions are what we feel as pain in the womb. So heat is really important for the womb, especially while we are bleeding. So you can put a heat pad on your belly, you can wrap your hips in a warm scarf, you can also put on some cozy socks, please, because the temperature in your feet are directly connected to your womb. So it's important that you keep your feet warm. This is very, very helpful as well. Okay, my fourth tip, it's also another practical but magical tip, and I've talked about this recently. It's yarrow, and there are many other medicinal herbs that you can use to support you in easing your menstrual pain, and every woman has their favorite. Some women really like raspberry leaf or nettle or mugwort or sage. Like, a lot of these herbs can really help with menstrual health, but it's a very personal thing, and it also really depends on what's going on in your womb. So not every herb is gonna work for every woman. Like, for example, hibiscus can make you bleed more, so if you already have really abundant bleeds, maybe it's not the best to take when you are bleeding, but yarrow, in my experience, is the best. She was the only one that actually helped me when I used to struggle with period pain in the moment. Like I'm not just talking working on this on the root cause, but like when you're in it and it hurts, you need help ASAP, right? So yarrow was that support for me. And you can take it in tincture, or you can also make some tea with it. It's a little bitter, but recently actually I found this, well, I just realized that this there's this really nice blend you can make, because I was with a friend and she had period cramps, and so I made a little blend for her. So really good. It was yarrow, melissa, and mugwort. Oh, it was so good, and it worked. So yeah, and somehow I think the melissa made the bitterness of the yarrow a lot more soft and a lot more gentle, so that was nice. Okay, and my fifth tip today for easing your menstrual pain is to slow down. Yes, I know. I've also talked about this a lot, but a lot of times the only thing that your body wants to tell you is that you need to relax. Okay, so if you're doing it, if you're hustling, if you're always on the go, you always have another thing to do in your to-do list, if you're way overworked and you know you need to slow down, because otherwise your body's gonna slow you down, and one day it's just period pain, but another day it will be endometriosis or it will be something else. Okay, so we don't want it to get to that point. Okay, if you're not there yet, slow down. A lot of times that is enough for women to feel a huge improvement. It's crazy. Okay, and when I talk about slowing down, like, yes, literally lay down, do nothing, rest, give yourself full permission. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't have to earn your rest 100%. Yes, that's one thing, and that's already huge. But let's go deeper into what it means to slow down. Slowing down is also something much deeper, like slowing down with our thoughts, slowing down with our nervous system. Because sometimes, like, you can say, okay, I'm gonna just stop and rest, but you're anxious and your mind's going a million miles per hour, and you know you're dysregulated, and you feel it in your body, and then you're not really resting, and you just, you know, it sucks. So to really deeply slow down, it's important to heal the nervous system. And any kind of body-based practice you can do to support your nervous system is gonna help you and your menstrual pain a lot. And that's also why I love feminine embodiment. If you've been here on my page for a while, you probably already know, because I talk about it a lot. And feminine embodiment is about conscious movement practices in the body. So it's like, these are like a deep embodied journeys. It's like meditating with your body, and there's a lot that you can do with feminine embodiment. It's a more feminine approach, working with feminine body wisdom, and you can really rewire your nervous system and bring in a sense of safety and calm and presence, so that you can really deeply slow down in your body. And then you can carry this feeling with you throughout the day, even when you're getting things done. And also when you really stop, you can like really truly stop and breathe deeper and feel deeper and feel at home in your body. So those are my 5 tips for today to ease menstrual pain. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if this is helpful, if it's inspiring for you, if it's bringing up other thoughts or realizations. I would love to hear. I love this conversation, and this is one of my favorite things to work with, especially when I'm working one-on-one with a woman, because we can really look at your own womb story and your own situation, your needs, and work on an emotional level, on an energetic level, on a feminine body-based level, and help you experience painless bleeds and access the beauty that your womb has for you. So if this is something that you feel called to go into, if you feel it in your body, if you've been feeling it intuitively that this is something you need to do, send me a DM. Let's talk about it, and I would love to connect with you more. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I look forward to read your comments. If you have any questions from the conversation today, drop them below, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.